guys, Dave and Anna here. You guys ready to talk about Cyberpunk 2077? Because we are.
This episode is a PS5 focused Cyberpunk 2077 review because we're not having a lot of the same issues as a lot of the other people playing.
Yeah, and when you say review, it's more of a first look because we're not that far into it, so we're not really even able to give you too many spoilers. Not that, that we would anyway, but, you know.
Yeah, people don't like spoilers, unless they do. You know, I will say, though, we've played many hours, though.
We have.
Which is, and it's a giant game, so it's one of those games that, like, you know, it's a Grand Theft Auto-like game where it's, like, so huge that, like, even though we've been playing many hours, we're not too far into it.
Yeah, and many of those hours are just the same gunfight over and over again as you die over and over again.
I've gotten better, you know. I've gotten perks now, so my whole body's covered in metal now. Okay, so this game is from CD Projekt Red. They made, of course, the Witcher games, and I think at this point a lot of you guys know that it has had quite a few downs for its open, particularly if you're trying to play the game in the last-gen console, PS4, or, you know, the last Xbox, you're having massive issues.
Yeah, if you're playing on a PC, you're probably smooth sailing.
Yeah, and we're playing on a PS5, and overall, it's a really great experience. It is not perfect. It is crashing on us, especially when we're driving.
Yeah.
A lot of it happens, and it must be like a frame rate issue, because a lot of times when I'm like driving really fast through Night City, all of a sudden, error.
Yep.
And I do not accept it, okay, PlayStation, even though you tell me to accept it. Instead.
Yeah, and I think your biggest problem when it does that, when it crashes and you have to restart it, is since you invert your axis, it just resets it back to default.
Yes, I am putting that back, inverting, but no one else would have that problem. I'm like the only person left alive who still inverts the y-axis. So I think this is going to be a more positive review for this game, if only because we're not having a lot of the same issues as a lot of other people. So we've actually been able to experience a lot of what Night City has to offer.
Yeah.
And this game is pretty incredible in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Now, they spent 7 years making it. We know, like, the world of The Witcher is huge. And this world, it is tremendous.
Yes.
Like, the map area is giant in this game. And what's really wild is, it's like, yeah, so what, Dave? There's a lot of games with, like, big maps.
Yeah.
But it's also dense.
Yes.
Like, it's very layered. It's very complicated.
Yeah, and the views that you're seeing as you're going through Night City and all around, you know, they're beautiful. Like, the detail on them, as you know, sometimes we could fast travel places, and it's like, no, we're just going to run or drive just so that we can see what's to the right, what's to the left, what's in front of us. Let's look at those mountains. Let's look at that building.
Yeah, and also, you know, you have a car that, like, you can remotely bring to you, but like Grand Theft Auto, you can just steal a car.
Yeah.
You know, though CD Projekt Red made The Witcher, and there are some attributes that kind of feel like The Witcher, it kind of feels like a weird baby of, like, Grand Theft Auto and Deus Ex, like, from many years ago. One of the things I want to say is, when you're playing this game, take your time, because we sped through the story portion pretty quickly, and we ended up getting a situation where my attributes were not very high, and I was getting myself into, like, crazy tough situations and dying constantly. So definitely, you know, this game has so many side quests, it has so many gigs, it has so many things you can do. You definitely want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, being able to build up your skills is going to be really important as you're going through it. It's also going to make it more fun, you know, and it gives you more to do, you know?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't just want to rush through a game, that really like having that longer experience, make it last, you know, don't run through it. Now, you know, we've been able to sort of catch up on them, but it would have been, I think, more fun if we had done them before we got to certain story elements.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that is crazy about the game is that there's all these different attributes that you can upgrade, you know, like intelligence, body, cool. I was born naturally with a lot of that. And in there, each one has its own perk tree, right? So you definitely, like, when you start the game, you definitely want to, like, build up those attribute points, because we've gotten in situations before where, like, certain decisions can only be made if you have a certain amount of an attribute.
Right.
And if you want to make that decision but don't have the points, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I will say, though, this game is really, really crazy in all the options it gives you in like the combat, right? Yeah. So one of my things that I really like is you can quick hack certain people, because everybody has some kind of cybernetic thing. Like you can like hack like a machine so that somebody goes and checks it out, so you can go and like grab them and stealth them. But you can also hack certain people if they have enough like microchips in them. Sometimes you can like blind somebody temporarily, or you can short circuit them, and just that is such a cool layer of combat, while also just being able to like blow them away with like all kinds of crazy guns. Just adds to like a lot of fun and a lot of options.
Yeah, but one of the things that you want to keep in mind is this is where that skill tree you were talking about, where that really matters, you know, saving up those points, knowing what to use them on, because, you know, you can only hack certain things if you're at certain levels, you know, just like you can only carry certain things, you know, certain amounts of things if you're at certain levels. And so, you know, whether you put your points on intelligence, or you put them on, you know, your body, or put them on their cool, that's really going to make a difference in what you're able to hack, what you're able to carry, who you're able to fight.
Yeah, like even one of the things is I upped my body pretty quickly, and so I was able to like rip a gun out of a turret and carry it around and shoot guys with it, which was amazing.
It was amazing. You looked ridiculous in the best possible way.
It was so awesome. And that's the thing, the game does give you a lot of cool things to do, you know, and also some modifications are crazy. Mantis blades are freaking awesome.
Yes, I highly recommend.
I just want to use those all the time. Those things are awesome.
Well, my favorite part was you're like, should I get the Mantis blades? I'm really not getting into like hand-to-hand combat. I'm shooting, and the minute you get them, you're like, it's all fist fights, because it's like, I just want to keep on using them. And they're so effective, not just on the people, but on some of the robots and stuff you fight.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wasn't gonna get them because I'm like, I like shooting things, and I was like, no, Mantis blades all the time. Of course, there is an update where basically you have like you can just shoot like a rocket out of your hand, so I really want to do that one too. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I will say though, you know, the world is just like phenomenal. You know, you get to start off as 3 different classes, either nomad, street kid, or corpo. Like you come from a corporation. And we started as nomad, and like a lot of the times, like you end up talking to people in a certain way based on the class you start as, and it's just like really interesting to see how all those elements are added in there. I mean, the game is a like cornucopia of like different sci-fi elements. You know, it kind of feels like William Gibson's version of Grand Theft Auto. You know, like there's some stuff in it that's like straight out of Strange Days. There's some stuff that feels like RoboCop. There's some stuff that feels like Mad Max.
Yeah, now from what we've read, you know, it doesn't really matter which one of those classes you choose for the actual progression of the game. Yeah. But the way that you talk to people, the way, you know, the choices that you make and some of the options that they give you are different, but it's like you said, it's the communication. It's not really the way the game flows.
So we are pretty still early in it, but 2 of the things I really like about this game, one is there's like a long side mission of taking out cyber psychos, which are people that have been driven mad through their cybernetics, and you have to take them down, and all of those battles are really intense and awesome, and also like they're really scary. Like there's this one fight that I had which kind of felt like a horror movie, where I was down in this lady's basement and she's like so fast and I can't get away, and I'm just like, ah! And I remember going to bed the other night being like scared of the lady in the basement with the cybernetic enhancements. And that's the thing, like, and, oh man, those guys from the Maelstrom with like the crazy faces that are all mechanical now. Like there is a lot of freakiness about this game, and I think part of what makes it freaky is like it's somehow like a little more believable than just like ghosts or demons. You know, you could see a future where this might actually happen a little bit, you know?
Yeah, well, and you start to wonder, it's like, okay, what modifications are going to be the most helpful against any of this stuff? You know, I think you brought up earlier today, you were like, you know, if I had the Mantis blades fighting the lady in the basement, would that have helped, you know? Yeah. And then you start thinking, oh god, hand-to-hand combat with someone moving that quickly, like that's creepy in itself.
Yeah, also I've had this issue too where, like, you know, when we played Deus Ex, you know, Adam Jensen at the very beginning of the game gets like blown up essentially, and so he's already replaced with all these cybernetic parts. So it's like when you buy another like piece of him, it doesn't matter. But in this, you start off as like a whole human, and like all of a sudden I'm like, am I really gonna like replace her arms with like different arms? Like, this is a human being who's like, yeah, take my arms, give me new ones.
Well, and as you're looking at some of the other characters in the game, it's like, you know, you look at the people that like no longer have faces. It's just, you know, like red dots, and it's like, do I want to be that? I don't want to be that. That's you know.
This is bad. This is bad news. Yeah.
I don't care how much better it makes me see. I want a face.
I know. Oh God, I know. But yeah, no, it's totally freaky. Also, there's just some other fun things like Skippy. I just have to say, I found a gun named Skippy. Yeah. He's an AI gun. He's funny, and every time he shoots, it's a headshot. So I highly recommend getting Skippy if you can find him on the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's amazing.
Go Skippy.
But yeah, okay, so, I mean, that's our main thing is, like, I'm really digging it. It's really cool. But obviously, you know, it's only having a few issues.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to be playing it on the PS5. You know, I think the key is if you've got a good PC setup, that's the way to go for this game right now. Next up is PS5, and if you've got a PS4 or the last generation of Xbox, you might want to hold off.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, question time, because you got to end every YouTube video with a question. If you get one of these augmentations from Cyberpunk 2077, which one would you get in real life? Clearly, I would get mantis blades, because they would help. You can use them to, like, cook and, you know, also take down foes. So I think that would be the way to go. Yeah.
I would have Keanu.
Ah, there you go. Good point. Well done. Very well done. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.